The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Monday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN just after 9 a.m. Eastern Time. We have peace in the Middle East this morning. We have, it seems like, peace between the U.S. and China. At least the market's reacting. Right now, S&P is up by 1.25%. And boy, it was quite a slide after the close on Friday with the 100% tariff on China announcement. S&Ps trade all the way down to 65.40. Right now, we're 82 points below where we were at 4 o'clock, and we're almost 130 points above where you were 5 p.m. on Friday. S&P's up by 1.25%. NASDAQ 100 up by 2%. 24,874, and we are up more than 700 points off of that acceleration low after the close of Friday. Dow right now up by 0.8%, 46,081, and the Russell up by 1.7%. Bitcoin, yeah, not higher. Check out Bitcoin. Okay, watch out for the crypto sector. Bitcoin down another 1.6%. Bitcoin almost coming into where we were at 5 o'clock on Friday. Okay, this would be akin to the NASDAQ 100 right now, being down at about 24,200. We're at 24.8. Okay, crypto's got a little bit of a problem right now, and it extends well beyond into some of the more prominent meme coins, the decimation that went on in crypto on Friday. People trading on margin, okay? People trading on margin in coins that just got almost wiped out when you add in the margin and the multiples that they were trading on. Ethereum up by about 3%, 41.24 this morning. So you got Bitcoin backing down. Ethereum catches a little bit of a bounce from where we were on Friday. Crude, how about Friday's action to 58.22? Still a relatively affordable $59.52, up by 1%. But yeah, we got a 59 handle in crude. We jump over to yields. You got the 10-year right now sitting at about 4.06%. So 2 weeks from this Wednesday is another Fed meeting. Market's pretty sure that they're going to cut by another 25 basis points. Where they go beyond this meeting, beyond December, up to May, when you'll get a new chairman or chairwoman. But nonetheless, 4.06, we saw some higher price, lower yield, extending into Friday. You jump over the dollar. We had the drop-off on that acceleration on Friday in terms of lower yield, weaker dollar. We've gotten most of it back. Dollar's been strong. We're pushing 99.23. You take a look at the dollar on a daily, right? That was your last Fed meeting when you had the dollar at 96.22, we'll call it. We're at 99.22. Okay, that was September 17th. And meanwhile, so the dollar's up 3 full points to the penny since then. And how about gold, man? I saved the best for last, up $104. Now, there's September 17th on the chart. So gold is up from 3,700 up to 4,100. You're up about an 11% acceleration, while the dollar has strengthened 3 full points from 96.22 to 99.22, right? Gold up 11%, while the dollar strengthens more than 3%. Quite a run. Now, that's the daily. We take a look at the weekly on gold, right? How about this one? Okay. That's called ramping up on volume, folks. Quality volume to the upside. We'll see if we can do it this week, but what's remarkable is you're going to start the week off with a banner day. Okay, we got some massive volume. Now, we did 1.7 million shares last week. We just blew everything apart, right? Look at this. This is how you like to break away. Every week we're going up. Yeah, we had one anomaly. But the trend is more volume. Every single time we're printing higher prices. We're doing it with more people in the store. The one downfall is that when you look at the daily, okay, Today's going to be an important day. If we could ever get above that with volume, watch out. But, man, we did 448 million contracts on gold that day. We've done 177 today. We're breaking above the highs. We'll see if we can do it with volume. Gold up $106. Yeah, as I come to you, we are at tick highs. How about that, folks, on the program? $4,107. $4,107. Gold up by 2.7%. Silver. Did we just do it? I think we did. Oh, so close. 50-50. I got to remember. 50-50. We just hit 50.09. Silver up by 5.7%. We'll see if we can match the volume on a daily. Okay, we saw the pullback that we had in gold. I highlighted that. Same thing in silver. That's Thursday's price action. 186,000 contracts in the red on silver. You see us plowing above that high today. We've already done 74,000. You take a look at silver on a weekly. A little bit of a different story because of the give back last week, right? The ramp up in volume is real, okay, but you didn't have the price appreciation last week that you did in gold. Nonetheless, this week is going to be an important week in silver, just like it is in gold. And yeah, you take a look at the XAU, HUI. Okay, now these haven't opened yet. But we had a little bit of a pullback. But we're going to get almost all of it right back this morning. All right, we jump over to the volatility index this morning. How's that for a spike for you? And yeah, still an elevated level, okay? We're sitting right now at 2025. You got as high as 24 on the close of Friday, and it would have printed even higher if it was printing after market. But VIX backing off a bit as the market rejoices on a little bit of calm. And let's jump over to the first headline. And there it is. Trump and Xi spark another standoff with the world economy at risk, is how Bloomberg puts it. So Chinese authorities have not yet retaliated to the threat to impose 100% tariffs over the latest rare earth curb. And yeah, China markets showed resilience to the turmoil. The CSI 300 benchmark ending Monday just down 0.5%. Yeah, so that's a part of the market rejoicing as well, suggesting that investors see renewed tensions as strategic posturing. Okay, nobody sees Trump sending the market down to 4,800 again just yet. Yeah, for their part, Chinese officials said there could be exemptions for their sweeping rare earth curbs. There's always exemptions, right? This is the negotiation we're in. Well, it's hard to gauge who exactly has more leverage, which abundantly clear is China's export sector can withstand U.S. tariffs around 50%. Beijing does care if the tariffs go past 100, but as long as that scenario doesn't materialize, tariffs are a lesser priority. And yeah, rare earths are a part of that conversation, of course. And with that, you jump to the Middle East, listen to President Trump speak today, and you got to be thankful for peace, folks. You know, those hostages coming back for multiple years, right? We struggle. You struggle for a week. You have a tough week. You have a tough month. You have a tough year, multiple years, the humanity of it all. And so you get peace, and hopefully it lasts. And then, of course, politics comes right into it as he lobbies for a pardon for Netanyahu corruption that goes along with a lot of the backdrop context that has been at play there in terms of people who disagree with Netanyahu, saying he was staying in power to avoid the consequences of that. So we shift to the next stage. Markets plowing higher. S&P's up by 82. We'll come right back, folks.
For potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger Zen, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger Zen, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. It wouldn't be another week in the market. It wouldn't be another Monday to kick things off if we didn't have an AI deal pushing these valuations to stratospheric levels. So you're talking about Broadcom this morning. Who they make a deal with? OpenAI. Now, this was speculated. Okay, but OpenAI partners with Broadcom for a custom chip deal, adding to NVIDIA and the AMD agreements. So this deal, how about 10 gigawatts? Yeah, where is it? 10 gigawatts. There it is. OpenAI and Broadcom said today that they're jointly building and deploying 10 gigawatts of custom AI accelerators as part of a broader effort across the industry to scale AI infrastructure. Well, that's putting it lightly. Now, Broadcom, folks, is up this morning $35. We're $12 off the high right now. Okay, now what happened here is that they were already speculated to be in the business. Okay, they had a $10 billion customer the analyst said was OpenAI. Now they've made that public. Okay, you go back a bit, right? You get their earnings, you get the acceleration, you back away. Now we're going to just test those highs. We just traded up to like 371. We have a high of 374 out here. So this was somewhat known, but the scale of it is pretty remarkable. Okay, 10 gigawatts. They've been working together for 18 months. They're going to... Here we go. Yeah. Industry estimates peg the cost of a gigawatt data center at roughly $50 billion, with $35 billion of that typically allocated to chips. They're going to do 10 of them. a gigantic amount of computing infrastructure to serve the needs of the world to use advanced intelligence. Spoken like a true promoter that Mr. Altman is. We can get huge efficiency gains that will lead to much better performance, faster models, cheaper models, all of that. Broadcom's already up 40% this year. Now, you are up right now in Broadcom. The moves in this market on these deals, man. So you're up $30 right now in Broadcom, folks. Broadcom has 4.7 billion shares outstanding. Every $10 is 47 billion in market cap. This equity has now added about 150 billion in market cap at this price. And another way to put that, though, is that you're, $17 off the spike high, which is close to 70 billion off the highs. It's an amazing amount of money that gets added relentlessly to the top. You look at NVIDIA shares, green with the market, but up by $4 right now. We jump over to Intel. Intel got a downgrade from somebody this morning, just talking about what's priced into this equity. I heard that headline earlier on Bloomberg. Intel shares up barely by about 10 pennies today, up to 36.46. We jump around to some of the other AI players. Oracle up by $7 to $2.99 this morning. CoreWeave up $4 to $142. Some of the stocks that were trading down hard on Friday. Robinhood up about $6 in the pre-market to $144. Palantir was taking it on the chin on Friday. You're up by $4 to $179 right now. One of the equities that was, watch out for this one, folks. So Ferrari's down again. Okay, they came down dramatically last week. And nothing saving this equity right now. You're at 386, and I was talking about this last week. I put it on my radar that, you break below this area, and where are you going? And guess what? You're breaking below it, okay? That was your weekly last week. You talk about trading lower, okay? You took out, a year? Ferrari just took out a year of consolidation on the weekly. Watch this. Let's put it on a monthly, all right? You just take out the entire last year. You do it on a week, not even on a month. You do it basically on almost a day, but it was the week. You do it with tremendous volume, and you get this reprieve in the market today, and Ferrari says, no, I'm trading down another $7, $8, $9, $10. We're going to open at 386. And the only thing sticking out here, folks, is this bar from last January. Okay, when you accelerated higher in Ferrari from 338 to 395. This happened to be on my radar looking at this thing last week, and yeah, we took it all apart. Okay, you had lows out here of April of 391.54. You didn't close above that, but you did close above where the body was. That body opened at 398. So you closed below the body of the candle from April 7th. You did it on volume, and you're trading lower today. So watch out for Ferrari if you're in that equity, man. They got some problems going on. So OpenAI today, they operate currently on just over 2 gigawatts of compute capacity. They have announced 33 gigawatts of compute commitments over the past 3 weeks alone. NVIDIA, Oracle, AMD, it cannot continue at this pace, folks. This pace. It cannot continue at this pace. So it's crazy it's not crazy. We know that energy is a real deal here. The deals that they have arranged, okay, 33 gigawatts of computing power, they're on 2 right now. There's an estimated 84 million single-family homes in America, folks. 84 million. 1 gigawatt is about 750,000 houses, maybe to 1 million, okay? So let's just call it 1 million for simple math, even though it might be 750. It's the equivalent of the energy they're going to need on this deal, okay, to power almost 1 out of 3 houses in America. They now have to make that come to fruition, and they're going to do everything they can, and, this is not a dot-com bubble. But boy, there's a lot built in. Put it in that context, right? They're signing deals. Imagine if I said TFNN just came out with a deal, folks, and we're going to build data centers that are going to be the size of basically 1 out of every 2 or 1 out of every 3 single-family homes. I'm just going to do it. Don't worry about it. It's going to go well. I'm making deals with everybody. Not the same scenario, but boy, the growth built into it every single day. These stocks that are trading higher by $30, you're talking about 120, 130, 140 billion dollars in market cap. That money's got to come from somewhere, folks. Where's that money going to come from? A lot of it's going to come from corporate America, okay? Businesses are going to use this productivity in magnificent fashion, but that money hasn't materialized yet, and you're now talking about trillions. All right, this will be an exciting open, folks. S&P's pricing in a gain of about 1.2%. NASDAQ 100 1.8%. Russell up by 1.8%, and the Dow up by 0.8%. Gold up $100. Coming back for the opening bell, folks.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We get equities open, and we get the S&Ps up by 1.2%. Expect a little bit of volatility today. We're getting some swings in this market, and you got a VIX right now. Come on, get you up. Yeah, sitting still above 20. Okay, so boy, you got quite a relief rally, but we still got China with 100% out there. Okay, that's a real deal. that release that China put out on Thursday about the controls of rare earth minerals, President Trump coming out Friday, yes, tensions have risen in terms of where they are. And, in a negotiation, right, it's who has the upper hand, who has more staying power, right? Who has the stronger hand? A lot of times, who has the stronger hand? Well, what's going on here is President's got a strong hand right now, man, okay? It wasn't a strong hand at 4,800. There was weakness, right? How long could you hold out? That strength's come back. So there is the risk. Just from a straight negotiation standpoint, okay, when you're thinking longer term to sacrifice the short term, you got a lot of sacrificial area up in the markets right now. And I'm not saying you're destroying the market, but just think about it from a negotiation standpoint, okay? Trump, right now, versus where he was in April, you better believe it's a much stronger hand. So expect tensions to be on the rise right now. They've gotten calmed a bit over the weekend, but yeah, that's where we live. NASDAQ up by 1.8%. Microsoft shares, they give it back at the open slightly, up by 0.7% right now. NVIDIA up by 3.2%. Talk about a volatile day for NVIDIA, folks. NVIDIA on Friday from 195 to 179. I laugh because that is a $16 run. NVIDIA has about 25 billion shares outstanding, which is $400 billion in market capitalization from high to low on Friday. 400 billion, NVIDIA alone. All right, let's jump around to some of the other Magnificent Seven. Amazon up by 0.8% right now. Oracle catches a bid. So much for that slide on Tuesday to 271. You're back above 300, near the highs of Friday, up by 3.3%. CoreWeave up by 1.5%. We check in on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin shares. You can see, isn't it remarkable? Even on the market open, okay? Bitcoin trades on the market open now, especially on days like this. Didn't used to be the case because Bitcoin trades over the weekend, but yeah, it does. Look at this action right on the open. You get 180 Bitcoin. Now each Bitcoin is trading at 115,000, right? So imagine if you're trading a $115 stock, that's 185,000. But no. Down by 1% right now for Bitcoin. Ethereum up by 4.5%. You check in on silver. All right, we might get there while I'm on the air, folks. 50-50 is the high from 1980. Zoom in on the action. January, you go from the beginning of 1979 at $6 up to 50-50, and you were back to $10 by May. That's 1980, folks. There's the month I was born. Look at that. You could have bought silver the month I was born, 2 months before I was born, within 60 days of when I was born. You could have bought silver practically in your break even. But hey, we're making a run for it today. And you talk about silver. Let me get there. Forgive me. I got an article on that silver squeeze going on right now. Here we go. All right, so we're in the U.S., but in London, those markets are rocking. Yeah, highest in decades. Hey, the only thing higher, folks, is 1980. Okay, we're now up almost 5%. Spot silver is $52 an ounce. Gold's up near 4,100, as we know, but liquidity, okay? Yeah, it's a short squeeze, man. Drove silver to close to $52.50 an ounce, a record from 1980, set on a now defunct contract on the CBOT. So London is flying way over New York because of delivery. Silver lease rates, which represent the annualized cost, 30% on a 1 month basis. Yeah, to borrow it. You want to roll your short position? 30%. How about that? So the silver market, less liquid, 9 times smaller than gold. And yeah, metals have no central banks. You either love that or you hate it, depending on how it's trading with you or against you. And there's that spot rate. So traders also remain on edge ahead of the conclusion of the U.S. administration's so-called Section 232 probe into critical minerals, which includes silver, as well as platinum and palladium. Fears the metal could be swept up in new levies have exacerbated market tightness, partly laying the foundation for the squeeze in silver after a major drawdown of freely available supplies. Man. So, 50-21. You jump over to copper, okay? Here's some of the stories of what can happen when you're in some tariff volatility, folks, okay? Copper goes from $4 up to $6, down to $4.30 in the span of a few months, and that was tariff-driven volatility. Now, copper last week, okay, that was the first pullback we've had in a while, but you did it on volume. That was your weekly from last week. You traded from 526 down to 482. You closed near the lows, but guess what? Already, with silver ratcheting higher, copper participating as well. We'll see if we get the volume, but copper making a run for the highs. Now, if you're looking at copper, folks, okay, you got this area out here that's kind of the high from March of 537. We hit a high last week of 526. But yeah, copper particularly volatile with those metals. Jump back to the dollar right now. 99.23. You jump over to yields right now. The 10-year sitting at about 4.06. And when you talk about a Fed meeting 2 weeks from this Wednesday, okay, that would be October 29th is their next meeting. About a 97% chance that the market thinks they're going to cut by 25 basis points. The further out you go, the more interesting the conversation goes. There's still a 90% chance the market thinks they're going to go cut, October and December. Okay? You go all the way out to April, so we're talking about 5 meetings from right now, and the market's thinking over the January, March, and April meetings that we'll get 1 to 2 additional cuts. So if we think that maybe December is correct, and it's not, 90% chances have gone awry in this market left and right. Okay, the bond market keeps getting ahead of itself on both directions. But let's just say it goes cut. That brings the target rate down to about 3.5 to 3.75. The lower boundary would be 3.5. The lower boundary right now is 4%. By December, the market thinks there's a better than 9 in 10 chance we're going to 3.5. Okay, so do not expect rates to drop dramatically if we get those cuts. Market's already 90% sure we're getting the cuts. The 10-year's already pushing 4%, folks. We got higher price, lower yield right now. Look where we are on this chart. All right, we'll finish this conversation when we get up. But you go out to April, and the market's thinking that maybe we get one more cut. You know what? 25% chance we don't get any more cuts by April. That's what we're going to talk about. We'll be right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direction. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direction.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We have markets holding on to those pre-market session highs. As in, we are right where we came in. S&P is up by almost 1.2%. NASDAQ 100, we give it back a bit, but up by 1.5%. The Dow up by 435 points or 1%. And remember, that's just where we were at the close of Friday. Doesn't factor in the escalation you had after hours, where that 100% actually came out in terms of the details. All right, jumping back to the CME numbers real quick. So it's important to realize that where could we see rates go lower, whether you're talking about on a short-term basis or on the 10-year, which is more important when you're talking about the cost of capital, car loans, house loans, most importantly probably, but everything. The 10-year is just the driver of everything that the economy is based on for longer-term lending, for car loans, home loans, etc. If we get the 2 cuts the market's already priced in by December, okay, you're not going to see much of a move because this is what's priced in right now, and that's why the 10-year is pushing at almost 4%. Where you could see that, okay, or where it's going to matter is what the Fed starts doing prior to Powell. You got 3 meetings next year, January 28th, March 18th, and April 29th. The market thinks by December 10th, we're going to be at 3.5% for the lower boundary. Market thinks there's almost a 21% chance that we're still going to be there by April. Okay, with a 42% chance we get 1 cut. So after the 2 cuts we get in December, assuming the market's correct, and listen, by December 10th, the Fed might get 3 months of inflation data by December. So I'm not saying that's going to happen. Okay, but if that doesn't happen, then rates are going to rise. That is baked into this market. 90% chance that they cut October 29th. And December 10th, if this market starts shifting, they're not going to do those 2 cuts, then yeah, you're going to get a rise in the 10-year and the 2-year most especially. But yeah, there's only 1 cut priced in. There's almost a 2 out of 3 probability when you add these 2 together, being the 3.25 to 3.5 and this range here, you're at almost a 2 out of 3 probability that once they cut twice into December, they're going to go 0 or 1 time over the next 3 meetings. It's going to be interesting to see how the market handles that, how that plays into the politics of Trump. If we do not get those cuts, you get a couple cuts by December, and then they go pause, and maybe pause, or maybe they go pause, cut, pause. How's the market going to adjust to that? Well, the good thing is that if you want to see rates drop, folks, that's where you're going to need to see the market price in cuts for those rates to drop. That's where you need to see the cuts materialize. The market's already priced them in through December. So if you're looking for lower rates, look for the acceleration as we come into the beginning of the year. The backdrop of that, though, is that if you have the time longer term, there's a new chairman coming in May. They're going to run it hot, folks. They're going to run this economy hot, and they're going to have the ammunition to hike if they need to, if inflation gets out of control. We're pushing almost 3% right now, though. Okay, we are pushing almost a 3% inflation number right now. And we're 16 days out from the next Fed. Okay. Jumping around to other news. Keeping with some real estate. Do you remember the gentleman who won the $2 billion Powerball jackpot? He's now buying up burned up lots in L.A. Now, the Journal phrases this, right? He wants to lead in the rebuilding of his hometown in Altadena. The first thing I thought of, folks, is that, and yes, okay, somebody needs to rebuild that area. Capital needs to come in, right? But it's also quite an opportunity for a billionaire, okay, to scoop up lots for people that don't want to build in that area, okay? He's already bought 15 lots, I think this says. Let's see, yeah. So he spent $10 million buying up 15 lots. That's nothing. He gets a Wall Street Journal article for spending $10 million in L.A. It's not a lot of money. Now, it's a lot of money to build up 15 lots, okay? Let's say you spend $1 million easy on each house if you're building, if those lots are costing you that much money, what are you paying? About $650,000 for each lot. You're probably spending at least a couple $1 million on the homes if you're spending that much money on the land, right? Land usually somewhere around like 15-20% you could do of the total build. So if you're building a $2 million property, maybe the land's $400,000, something like that. Okay, it can vary greatly, of course. But yes, so he's in Altadena, and the purchasers have raised alarm. Yeah, unincorporated community. You better believe it, though. Folks, 42,000 residents, okay? They're afraid they'll lose the small town feel. And yeah, you see why people get worried when disasters like this happen, right? Billionaires come in. A petition of block investors to block investors from buying lots has collected almost 1,500 signatures. The battle here is that it's always somewhere in between. The capital has to come from somewhere, folks. And that is the battle of in between. They lost 9,000 structures in Altadena alone. Yeah, tree-lined streets have been replaced with miles of dirt roads. So that's where the mix comes in. But yeah, you better believe it. Not bad. 33 years old, you win the lottery for a couple $1 billion. And you can do both, folks, right? You can rebuild the area while doing it in a profitable manner, which is usually how that ties in. And yeah, he's from there. Went to college after college, ended up back in Altadena, leasing a room from a local family. So, hey, if you're going to focus on a neighborhood, build it out, why not, right? Yeah. Lump sum of $768 million is what he took home. So imagine, he just spent $10 million on those lots. Even if you spend $2 million on a house, that's only $30 million. That's a $40 million investment, and you got 15 brand new homes on brand new lots that you just spent $2 million a home to build, right? You add the land value on top of that, and you only got to make $40 million back in an area like that. Keep your eye on that one. And I don't know if he wants that PR out there, but he must, because he's talking to them, and he's getting pictures out there as well. I mean, pretty remarkable, right? You buy up 15 lots, but hey, the focus is on that area as it should be, as you're going to have people swooping in, trying to take that land. But guess what? As I mentioned, the investment's got to come from somewhere. All right, let's check back on some of the equities moving. Yeah, Ferrari, watch out for this one, folks. Down another 3%. They're in trouble. Oracle shares, not Oracle, up by 4.7% to 307 this morning. NVIDIA up an even 3% this morning. Broadcom on their deal up 9%, up $30, adding more than $100 billion in market capitalization. $100 billion in market capitalization. Crude sitting at 59.46 right now. And you jump over to gold. It's not stopping. Gold up $112 right now. We just made a new all-time high in the last few seconds. Gold up by almost 2.8%. and they're making a run on silver over in London. Silver up by 6% to $50.14, highest prices since 1980. 45 years. Come right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. Silver up by 6% right now. We check back in on gold. Metals trading higher. 41.14. How's that? $4,114 for your gold contract out there. You jump over the XAU. And yeah, we're almost back to the highs of Thursday after that sell-off. XAU up another $11.70. You jump over the HUI. Yeah, look at that acceleration, man. Up by 3.8%. And you get the NASDAQ 100 up by 1.8% right now. Broadcom driving some of that, up by more than 9% on their deal with OpenAI. Jump over to Tesla, up by 2.3%. Some of the high flyers, Robinhood. Ooh, look at that. Okay, Robinhood, be careful, folks. If Robinhood can't get your bid on today, right? Pay attention to what the charts are telling you. Ooh, and that's a tough one for Robinhood. Palantir, same deal. Okay, no reprieve for those two equities. Be careful on those ones. Palantir up by 0.8% right now. And yeah, and talking with AI. So this one's from the Journal this morning. Okay, investment in AI ignites fire in the U.S. economy, but tech hasn't fully hasn't yet fulfilled promise of making humans work more efficiently. Folks, it's happening. They're going to start laying them off. Okay, just use these AI tools. You're going to be able to do so much with so little. And yeah, it's been a historic rise in investment. So 10% of businesses reported using AI in some way, up from 6% a year ago. Okay? Folks, 10% and 6%, we are about to go to 100%. Yeah. It's about to ratchet up in the next 1 to 3 years, so get ready for it. This market's ready for it. All right, we'll be watching the volume, folks. S&Ps right now. That was quite a sell-off on Friday. We'll see how today's comes in. But, boy, you got a market up by 1.4%. The S&Ps, NASDAQ 100 up by 1.9%. And gold, $4,114. We just did $4,115. We're ending at tick highs on gold. Folks, stay tuned. Basil Chapman's coming up next. We got live programming all day. Thanks for tuning in on your Monday. Stay tuned. Basil's coming up right now. Thanks, folks.